Hello YouTube, I'll just give you a quick review of our tent setup here. We're out in Mudgee in New South Wales, Australia, and we're camping at Old Barra. So we're with 3 other people. That's our tent down there. So we've got a friend who's using an Aldi tent. There's our kitchen setup, fire. Got a friend who's using an old style camper trailer with an annex. And then you got our setup. So we came in the Prado. Now, this campground's nice. It's got fairly even ground on it, and it's got actually toilets down the road there just behind those trees. But the downside to this campground is there's actually hasn't cleared it so that there's nothing here. Like, it is a cattle station some of the time, so there's a few cow bombs around. But so we were sleeping in the OZTent. Now we've had the last 2 nights, we had a -2 and last night was a 0. So the OZTent isn't really designed for negative temperatures or even sub-zero temperatures. So it did well considering that. So we've got the basic OZTent RV3, which is just that part there. That part you see is the fly. This part is called the Deluxe side, or the Deluxe awning. That's the Deluxe Front, and we've got the other side, which is a replica of that. Now, the good thing about the fly is that it keeps a few inches of room between itself and the roof. So you've got about 6 inches there. Now, that's good because in the morning, this whole thing was all frost. The whole, you could literally draw smiley faces on that. It was so much frost. And what would happen is, usually, if you didn't have that fly, it would absolutely build up on top of the canvas, and by the morning, your condensation plus the stuff on the roof, it would have just about frozen through. Now, OZTent's a great brand. It's actually the best tent I've found, and the RV3 is good for 3 people. But I'll tell you, you would not want to be putting any more than 2 adults and a small child in here. So we have 2 adults and a Labrador. And it's full. It is absolutely full. We've been here for 2 nights so far. Got 1 more night tonight. So this is what it looks like inside the OZTent. There's a door. It's got a door in the front. I'm just going to move over here. Door in the front there, and the same on the side. Everything in the OZTent is clipped together. So it's all replicas of itself, so all these extend out to be used. Now, this is just our stuff. That's where our dog's sleeping. We put the dog inside last night because it was actually so cold last night. And this is what it looks like inside the OZTent. There's the support beams. It looks a bit messy. Now we've got Roman big man sleeping bags, and we also have another sleeping bag there. And I've actually got a wool blanket inside my sleeping bag, and I needed it last night. So for -2 degree temperatures, we had thermal underwear on, plus tracksuits on, plus beanies, plus a snood, which is like covers up your neck. And then we had these small little windows that are up the top of the OZTent, 2 little tiny windows. The first night we had them open, the second night we had them shut, and on the second night, the condensation on the sleeping bags themselves was absolutely incredible. Like, it was almost like someone had sprayed a quick mist over the whole thing. It was that much water. So the thing we've done to prevent condensation getting us is we've put this bit of cotton across the roof, and we've just hanging up with string and a few pegs. You probably see one of the pegs just there in the corner. Now, this is Indian cotton. It's a really thick gauge, like medieval feeling cotton. And the good thing about this cotton is it's cheap. It's relatively cheap. It's like 25 bucks a meter, and it absorbs water really fast. And so when you're waking up, you'd come out here, and our breath, just the stuff it's breathing out, is ending up on here, and ending up on the roof usually. So the good thing that is it'll still end up on the roof. You'll still get it there, but it'll just drip onto that Indian cotton, and it'll stop that from going down. So that's my little review of the OZTent and what to do in the cold. But honestly, it offers no insulation, this tent. They're probably, I don't know what you'd do tent wise, like maybe smaller is better so you can contain more heat, but if you're going anything below 5 degrees, definitely get this fly at least, just so you've got the not landing on top of the tent and putting the ice on it. So yeah, this is Old Barra, Mudgee, New South Wales. I was talking to the owner before. This is about, I think it's a 450 acre property, and he's got 350 people here this weekend, people everywhere. There's a few walking tracks, but yeah, it's a beautiful little property, and you're allowed to bring dogs here, which is why we're here. It's dog friendly. Otherwise, I think we would have gone elsewhere. It's children friendly. Apparently in the summer you can swim. Just down there, there is a creek, and the toilets are drop toilets, but they are honestly the absolute cleanest drop toilets I've ever seen. The other thing that the OZTent has, which is really good, is it has the ability to be set up in 30 odd seconds. So let me show you this quickly. So this OZTent here, the main body of the OZTent, which is the part underneath the fly, so that section there without the fly, sets up in literally 30 seconds. You pull it down, it's rather long, I think it's over 6 foot long. Pull it down, fold it out, there'll be a few videos for it, and then you're sitting in your tent straight away. It's got all its flies built, it's got all its mosquito netting built in. It's got 5 windows built in, so it's really well designed. It's the best tent I've found. Price wise, I think it's about $1,100 Australian. I think you pay for the fly is about, I think it's $200 for the fly, and it's $200 or $300 for by the time you put the annex and stuff on. But it really is the best tent you can get. The other thing is there's a really good mesh screen that OZTent sells as well, that's running the entire length of the whole, you can see the very tip of it there. It's running this entire length, and that's relative, I think it's only $110, and it's got every peg hole built into it for you to line up as a cover. So that's what I can recommend about the OZTent. I've been using it for over 5 years, and we used to camp a little bit more, but now we camp maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And I wouldn't trade it. If this tent had a rip or a tear, or a zip broke and I had to buy another one, I would go and buy the same tent straight away, simply because I haven't found a better one, and the workmanship on it is so good that if anything went wrong, I would be blaming myself. I wouldn't be blaming the manufacturer of the tent. Now, I know that sounds cost prohibitive, and for some people that would be at that price, but for what you're getting tent wise, I'd rather put $1,000 into this tent than $1,000 into a rooftop tent. Main reason being is that unless you're camping in spots where animals can hurt you, these are more comfortable. They don't move or shift. You know, one person needs to get out in the night, there's no one falling down a ladder. And yeah, the quality of these tents are second to none. Like, there's another little feature. All these orange guide ropes are the original ropes, and they have been absolutely flogged. So you can see the fly is newer than the other one, as you can see the difference in colour. By all rights, these ropes should have broken by now. There's no reason they're still working, but after 5 years of, you know, good use, they're still working. They come with built-in pouches, so they actually all pack up. So this guide wire goes into its own pouch, it's got its Velcro. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. It's just you put it up to get more stability. And these are just some pegs that I've 3D printed and made up. But yeah, there's absolutely... Oh, and the other thing is, this piece here, this whole front part, can fold out again and create an even bigger awning again. So you can basically get that length between those 2 pillars coming out from the front again. And that's just included with the Deluxe Front. So yeah, this is the brand, OZTent RV3 Deluxe Front Panel. So yeah, it's an absolutely ripper. Look it up. You see a heap of videos on the net of other people putting them up in 30 seconds, pulling them down in 30 odd seconds. If you've got a bad back, I probably wouldn't recommend it because it's heavy to lift onto the car. You'll need 2 people. But if you're young and fit, you'll have no problems.